Okay, this is a video of a pterodactyl that was spotted over Idaho a couple years ago. And this looks pretty legit to me. So they're going to have a close-up of it here. And so check it out there, see? And notice the crest. There's really no explanation for this. They really don't have a drone that would, this obviously isn't a kite or a drone. They don't have a drone that can mimic stuff quite like this. And looks like a cryptid to me. So I had some teachers that were elementary school teachers that I had, and I didn't know it at the time, but in the now defunct Light newspaper, they said that they found or that they had spotted a pterodactyl in South Texas, and this is in the now defunct Light newspaper, and you can look it up in the archives. But anyway, one of those teachers I knew. This is a representation of Quetzalcoatlus northropi. It's a pterodactyl type dinosaur, and then there's a picture of it with the flesh on, and it would stand to reason that after whatever the cataclysm was that wiped out a lot of the dinosaurs, and I don't buy in the 65 million years. I'm a Noahic flood kind of guy. I believe God's word is true. Anyhow, it would make sense that flying ones would last longer and evade man's grasp simply because they can get up and move from one area to the other. Herodotus, the father of history, talked about flying dragons. Alexander the Great talked about these flying dragons that were in India. Remember, Alexander the Great went all the way into parts of India before he turned around and came back. And he said that there was these giant dragons that came out of the caves, and they flew and they attacked his soldiers, and they had to kill them. The Indians have the legend of the thunderbird and the condamado and the piasaw bird. Look up piasaw bird. It was originally drawn on the side of a cliff, and then it wore away, and now they have a permanent metal marker that looked like the original. But all the Indian blankets have pictures of a thing called the thunderbird, and it's a giant bird that supposedly snatched up Indians and took them off. And even now in Borneo, they have the legend of the Condamano and the Ropen and the Orang Batan. The island of Sumatra there is one of the largest unexplored islands on Earth. I mean, there are people there, but it's just rainforest. There's no really reason to go in there. But like I said, these things probably, they made it through everything that's called a dinosaur. The word dinosaur was not invented until the mid-1800s. Before that, they were called dragons and monsters. The Chinese society is replete. The entire mythology is built around dragons. And I don't know if you can see this here, but there's a possum wandering around the Woody Museum, and it's taken off. It's scared, running back to the river. That's pretty cool. Anyway, the whole Chinese mythology is built around dragons, and Marco Polo talked about when he was visiting the emperor that they had a dragon keeper, and during special festivals he would ride in a cart that was being pulled by dragons. So dinosaurs have always been with man up until recently. They got hunted out of existence, but they were called dragons and monsters. They weren't called dinosaurs. If you look in the book of Job, it talks about Behemoth and Leviathan. Well, you can make the argument that Leviathan is a whale, but Behemoth has a tail like a cedar beam, and is the chief of God's land creatures. Well, they try to say that the Leviathan, or excuse me, that the behemoth was an elephant. If you ever seen an elephant's tail, it's not very long. But let's look at the big boy dinosaurs here. That's a weaver's beam. A weaver's beam is what they use to weave linen and stuff, and it's very long. Most weaver beams are over 12 feet long, some as much as 20 feet long for linen. So anyway, that's a weaver's beam. Anyway, so check out the book of Job when he talks about the chief of God's creatures. And sometimes when it's talking about dragons in the Bible, they're talking about Satan metaphorically. But yeah, there is no such thing as Darwinian evolution. That's all a lie. Check out the works of Kent Hovind, Ken Ham. My good friend Trey Smith has videos about this. I have more about this on all my YouTube channels: Pat Moynihan, Tim Moynihan, Patrick Moynihan, Timmy Moynihan. I got some stuff on timbosplace.com. Please like, share, and subscribe. I don't make any money off this. I just do this for your edification. Thank you. I'm out.